What do we look for in a good Super Bowl commercial? In this video, I'll tell you the questions I was asking while I watched the commercials on the Super Bowl in order to get a sense for how effective those commercials would be. And basically it comes down to 4 questions. Who did the commercial? What message are they trying to get across? How do they get the message across? And what happens after the Super Bowl? So the first thing I look for when a commercial pops up is I try to figure out who did the commercial. What product or service is it advertising? And I kind of want to see some indication for this early on. And it doesn't have to be explicit, but there should be some subtle signs that give me a clue as to what it's about, and these should be distributed throughout. And one commercial that's a great example of this, they actually took it to the extreme, is Mountain Dew with their Major Melon commercial. Instantly when the commercial popped up, you could see the unique color scheme that they have. It was a mixture of Mountain Dew colors as well as a sort of melon colors. And this color scheme was used throughout the entire commercial, so you instantly know what it is throughout. So you're building associations between what you're seeing and the product. And they showed the product repeatedly in the commercial, the Mountain Dew bottles. In fact, they made it completely explicit and they asked people to tweet the number of bottles for the chance to win $1 million. So that's one of the first things I look for. Can I tell who did the commercial? Second question I asked is, what message are they trying to get across? And one of the commercials that I really liked in terms of getting the message across effectively was Rocket Mortgage. It was clear they were trying to pinpoint a very simple problem, which is that you need 100% certainty when buying a house. And so the commercial was designed to illustrate all the negative consequences that happen when you don't have 100% certainty in your decisions. So you have your product and you clearly stated what makes your product unique and advantageous for the customer. Question 3 is, how do they get the message across? And in the Super Bowl, there were examples that I want to talk about. The first is intrigue, building intrigue. And the advertisement that did a great job of this was the Doritos Flat Matthew ad, where they flattened up Matthew McConaughey and then he ate 3D Doritos and then he became three-dimensional again. There's a lot of energy behind this idea. You know, you could play with the idea of a flat person and how they engage with the world, and that really gave that commercial a lot of leverage. Also, what I like about it is it played into culture, because I think a lot of people, we have this feeling of being deflated after the year that was 2020 and the fact that the Super Bowl isn't really the typical Super Bowl. So portraying somebody as flat and then turning them into 3D kind of leverages into these cultural tensions that are going on in a really creative way. The second piece of how they get their message across is through storytelling. And a great example of this comes from Tide's Jason Alexander hoodie commercial, where the message they wanted to get across was that you put your clothes through a lot more than you think you do. And they got that message across creatively by personifying a t-shirt as the persona of Jason Alexander. So that's taking a kind of simple idea and turning it into a story that makes it much more compelling. Fourth question I asked about the Super Bowl ads to evaluate them is, what happens after the Super Bowl? You need to see that there's some advertising that happens after the Super Bowl so that they can turn that sort of brand awareness into sales. And the advertisement that did this really well was Cheetos It Wasn't Me campaign with Austin Kutcher and Mila Kunis. The next day, you're going on TikTok and you see promoted ads, sponsored ads for Cheetos. You see people using the hashtag, and people want to go out and buy Cheetos so they can participate. So those are the 4 questions you can ask to evaluate the effectiveness of Super Bowl ads. Who did the commercial? What message are they trying to get across? How do they get that message across? And what happens after the Super Bowl? Intermark Group is a full-service advertising agency that embeds psychology in their creative to help you build connections between your brand and your customers. So hit the subscribe and the bell button to stay tuned on our posts. Let us know in the comments what you think of this post, and you can find more information about us below. Thanks for checking out this video.